Hey, if you've been looking over the assignment for the argument paragraph, you've probably already noticed that you'll be using some sources for this assignment. You'll need one from the ICC databases, and the others can be from regular sources online. So I want to show you how to use a tool called Google's Advanced Search. It will kind of keep you away from some of the worst results, and also I want to show you how to directly quote, how to bring something into your document without accidentally plagiarizing. So let's go ahead and get started. Sometimes when I'm Googling, I don't get the best results. I may get just some kind of weird stuff that isn't really helpful, maybe stuff I don't want. So Google has a really good tool called Google Advanced Search. They used to have a button for it and then removed it, so I have to actually look for it, which is weird, but that's okay. So under Google Advanced Search, what I can do is I can now start to kind of divide up my search. So I may want to say, well, I definitely want Caterpillar. So my topic, at least as far as how I kind of outlined it so far, is that I don't want Caterpillar to close the Pontiac plant. So I need to think about layoffs or whatever. So I definitely want the word Caterpillar to be in there. So now I want a word like layoff. What if it has the word layoffs? Or what if it has the word furloughs? So if I'm Google searching and I'm just putting in a bunch of words, I may or may not get good results. But here I can say, hey, I want any one of these three words to be in my results. I can also do things like I can narrow my results to a particular site or domain. And the librarians will tell you that .edu means an educational document. .com, of course, is the usual things like newspapers. Let's try .gov, which is a government resource. We can also do .org, which is a nonprofit organization. So once I actually hit search, these will only be government agencies telling me stuff, and they're pretty authoritative. So I would believe a lot of these sources. If I don't like that, I can go back to the search area, or I can just type in that I just want nonprofit organization results. So ORG means nonprofit organization. So notice I'm kind of getting different results now, but I'm not getting a lot of weird commercial stuff. I can also go to just.edu, which is an educational thing. That means just educational sources, so you can kind of tell just universities, just places that publish like that. We'll talk about it. So any of those are actually really, really helpful. I'm going to go to an article that I've actually kind of already taken a peek at. This is the article that I was inspired by to use to just kind of find a good topic to use for my assignment. And I thought this would work pretty well. I was pretty excited about it. But there's no good quotes in here. So I went to the advanced search and I found another article. This one is from PJ Star. And this one actually does have a good quote that I want to use. So I want to always check back to my document and say, hey, what are my reasons? People are going to lose their jobs. Pretty easy to find a quote on that. Here's one that's a little more difficult to find, that they're actually going to give these jobs to other people, and possibly either in another company or to another company in a different country. So it'll be either outsourced to like an agency or a company, or it'll be outsourced to another country. So that either one of those could help this reason. And the last one is how the whole region would suffer if the Pontiac plant goes away. So I went ahead and found something from the Peoria Journal-Star. And this is actually from 2019, but that's okay. The layoffs haven't happened. Well, when I made this recording, they haven't happened yet. The Pontiac plant hasn't closed yet. So I can't really say, hey, Pontiac closed and here's all the bad things that can happen. I have to go back in time to another time when Caterpillar laid off and say, hey, look, when we laid off in 2019, look what happened then. We shouldn't do it again. So sometimes we're looking at history or going back in time to find a good source to say, hey, we did it once and here's what happened. So in this article, as I'm kind of reading down, I like this part where they actually said, look at, it says, oh, they're not saying how many jobs they're going to get rid of. This was in 2019, but they actually did say, oh, but the company does expect. I love that quote, so I'm going to actually put my cursor at the end. I'm going to copy the whole thing, Control-C or right-click copy. I'm going to actually go into my document. I'm just going to kind of dump it in for right now. So it's just sitting there, and I've got to be kind of careful. I haven't written anything to kind of tie this in there yet. But when they say the company, I think what they mean is Caterpillar. And I also realized when I copied and pasted this, I cut off the front of the sentence, which I'm allowed to do, but I do need to tell the reader, hey, I cut off the front of the sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change it just a little bit. So I'm actually doing something where I'm going to cut off the part of the quote that I don't need. So I'm going to take all the kind of countries that, not including Peoria, of course, that would include our own place. And I'm just going to include just the stuff here. This is my wording right here. So I'm doing something a little bit unusual. I'm not directly copying and pasting the whole kind of paragraph. I'm just going to use part of a sentence. You can use a whole sentence if you want. That's totally fine. So this is my part of the sentence where I'm saying, hey, here's the stuff I found out in the article. If I don't copy and paste the exact words, I'm going to leave it in my words. So the quote should start right where the exact copied and pasted material comes. I'm going to put an end quote in there, and then I need to find out who wrote this article. They're the author of the article. So the author, it looks like, is Montana Samuels. So what I'm going to, or Montana Samuels. What I'm going to do now is at the end of this, I'm going to put, hey, I got it from somebody named Samuels. So if somebody says to me, hey, Sherry, where did you find that? That doesn't sound right to me. Or are you just stealing information from other people? I can say, no, I found it from somebody named Samuels. So this is what they call an in-text citation. Now I haven't written the whole paragraph yet. So right now I'm just trying to find quotes to fit underneath each reason to see if these reasons will work out for me. If they don't, I can change them. That's okay. What I do want to do while I'm on this document is I'm actually going to go down and I'm going to insert a page break. I'm going to create a new page and call it my Works Cited page. You remember this from another assignment, probably your annotated bibliography or your analysis of the reaction video. So this probably isn't new to you. And I'm going to put Samuel's name, and I think the first name was Montana. I can go back and check. And what I want to do is I want to give Montana credit for writing this. So I'm not the person who wrote it. And I've given the person who's reading my work, hey, here's the hint, here's the in-text citation. Somebody with the last name of Samuels wrote this information and then gave me this information which I reworded. So it's okay to reword part of your sentence and then use part of it as directly quoted. And you'll see more examples of this as you go along. So don't freak out. And of course our librarians and myself are always here to help you do this. So I'm going to make sure I put in enough information. Now I happen to know this stuff by heart there, but there are places on Blackboard where you can get more information about the MLA format by clicking on that button. So don't feel alone, we're here for you. So I'm going to go back to the article, and it looks like it is called, okay, Caterpillar partners with such and such. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my document. Let's see if I can paste without formatting. My computer's so cranky. And that's fine. It gave me the title of the article, and I want to actually put a period afterwards. It is from the Peoria Journal-Star. I want to look at the date that it was actually published, September 26, 2019. We want to put it in the international format that is asked for, and that's 2019. I put a comma here, and now I'm just going to copy the URL and put that URL in there. So I'm going to copy that URL, I'm going to go here, I'm going to paste in the URL. Even though I haven't done my formatting, I'm already protected against accidental plagiarism because I've put in all the right information. So even if I have something that's not in the right font or not centered correctly, that's fine. That's just a little mechanical error. But I haven't accidentally plagiarized. So that's the good news about finding out how to do this stuff and getting more practice. I'm going to go up here. I happen to be in Google Docs, and I'm going to kind of do my little indent so I can bring stuff back. Now I'm going to change the font just while I happen to be working on it. Some people do this way later. That's okay too. Completely up to you when you want to do that. So now the only thing I need to do is kind of get rid of this weird link here. So I'm going to kind of hover over top of it. Get out of here, link. So I'm going to click, if I click anywhere on the link, it gives me the article and says, hey, do you want to remove the link? Do you want to edit it, or do you want to copy it? I want to remove it. So when I'm typing up a document that actually gets attached somewhere and I want somebody to click on the link, I want to leave it. For anything that we're giving to a professor at ICC, I would say unless your professor specifically says leave the links in there, let's remove them, because Modern Language Association says get rid of the link, it doesn't look right to us. Now I haven't written the rest of this whole paragraph, obviously I'm just kind of getting started, but I have a second video on how to use the ICC databases to put in information that you can quote. So this is just one of many places where you can get help. Don't forget the librarians, myself, are here to help, and you can also click on MLA format to find out how to quote other sources. Thanks for watching.